The objectives that I have for 2025 are really focused and specific because NGWA is such a large organization and has a large membership, and you have a very short time as president, so you have to be specific to decide what you want to take on so you can be effective. And with that, the three topics that I had were NGWA Business Pro, the new software package to help our contractor membership more efficiently run the financial side of the business, the income and payments and orders and purchase orders, all that work order stuff. So there we have a great group of contractors that are leading that committee. But what we need to do is be clear on our 1 year, 3 year, 5 year objectives, how much money we need to invest to accomplish those goals, whether that's in staff or in software or in hardware, and what we want that program to look like. And sometimes that's also saying, no, we can't be everything to everybody with that software. And so we need to make sure that its features are good for our membership and able to help them grow and make their businesses more profitable. I think that's a key thing about our industry is the more profitable that our membership is, the better people that we can recruit into our industry, and we can have better, when you have better people, you have better after work life as well. So there's a lot of value to that, of course, but that's just a small tool that the NGW is investing in to trying to help facilitate that with our membership. So there we'll be really focused on making sure that we're setting our objectives and measuring our key results and taking feedback from the users of that software and making sure that we're listening and doing the right things. And also getting the product to the market. We can't develop it forever. We have to hit the go button, and we have to have a product that people can use. And there's always going to be little bugs that you're going to have to work out. But it's time to move forward with it, and I think we have a great team to do that. The next topic would be our NGWA University that we've started back with OSU. And education in our industry is extremely critical. When we bring in new employees, they want to see a trajectory for them to grow. They want to know that there's training in place that they can get from point A to point B. And quite frankly, if you have people coming in that don't want to see that, then you kind of question of whether or not they need to come in the first place. So when they have a good plan and they're wanting to see your plan for their growth and how you're going to educate them and make them more knowledgeable so that they can have a better life, then that's what NGWA University needs to keep on the forefront of its mission. Because a lot of the shared resources that we have as an industry, all of the knowledge that we have through all the different sections and all the different companies and people in this industry, the knowledge is already there. There's not a lack of knowledge. What we have to do is facilitate that knowledge to be accessible for our membership, to be able to pull it off the shelf and train their employees and their team in order to make them as effective as quickly as possible so that they can start to provide value to the company, which then starts to allow the company to grow and also to pay that person better because they're adding value. And so pooling our resources together in order to create those type programs is where we're headed. And that's a very large task. So we have to be careful not to take on too much. But right now it's all been centered around drilling, which is where you have to start for sure. But we'd like to see it expand into other practice areas. And that would be, such as pumps or electrical. In our company, we see, from our viewpoint in the industry, electrical is usually it's usually the area where people struggle the most, where they're hungry for the most training right now is on the electrical side from what we see. So those areas, I think we can be of value. A lot of our membership, other manufacturers and suppliers have great training modules. They do, they have all taken the task upon themselves to continue to grow their companies, to create good content. But a lot of our smaller membership companies that don't have those time resources, mainly. They may have the financial resources, but the time resources to create training is a very large drain of time. So I think there, by pooling what we have, we can make an impact to give our membership a better opportunity to train people. And when we have a good training program in place, then when we have new people coming to our industry, attending our trade shows, or we're out recruiting, we're going to be able to say, we have a plan for you to make you successful. We have the materials in place to do so. And that's going to bring talent and young people into our industry. Workforce development is a pretty broad term. It means all kinds of things to all kinds of different people. So there again, we have to be very careful that we can't take on every task that falls under workforce development. We have to be targeted, and we have to think about it strategically in how we're going to build that portion of NGWA. And it's definitely a large elephant, and we have to figure out how to eat it one piece at a time, as the old saying goes. So there, number one, if we cannot pay on the same level as competing industry, such as plumbers or electricians, we're going to be in trouble. So if we can't pay on the same scale, and we spend money educating and we spend money recruiting, and then we lose them because we didn't pay them good, then we're in trouble. We've done it backwards. So we have to have the industry has to come together and decide that, especially on the contractor side, let's find out what the pay scale is by state, confidentially, of course, but that way we can make sure that our industry is competitive to the other ones that are vying for these same employees that we're trying to gain. And if we have that nice base structure first, which is our research, we have to do our homework, then we could make those investments, because now we know what the cost of those people are going to be, and we know where we need to be, and that changes what we have to charge for when we charge our customers in order to do the work. So that's a first important building block. And the next side of it is making sure that we're promoting women into the industry as well. There are a ton of women in the industry, but we haven't seen the involvement at the level that we'd like to see it. And a lot of the companies, the women in the business are maybe not leaving the business while their spouse is coming to Las Vegas because someone has to stay home and keep things rolling, or they've got a family at home that they've got to be taking care of, things like that. But we'd like to have a proactive approach to make sure that we're utilizing and recruiting the talent that the women bring to the industry, and getting them involved so that we make sure that they're, that other voice in the room that is thinking things from a different perspective and bringing a lot of other viewpoints to us. So excited for the event later that they're having. I know some of the board of directors are attending that to listen and feel how we can help facilitate that. So, but workforce development, as we continue through that, when we think about after we know we can pay them, then we have to be able to educate them. And so NGWA ties right back in with workforce development. If we can know that we're going to be able to afford the right people, then we can invest in them to train them and get them on a path to success. And those two topics go hand in hand.